As he said again, however, even if you don't have allegiance to the Wu family, it's okay to help? Orville said indifferently, Mr. Regnar, please say, as long as you don't violate the principle, it is naturally possible. Regnar nodded and said, I came to Orus Hill this time. There are two main things. The first thing is that my Wu family has some trouble. Surely everyone is aware of it? No one answered, but the embarrassing expression said it all. Regnar also knows that the matter of the second son is too detrimental to the dignity of the Wu family, and has made the Wu family a laughingstock in the hearts of countless people. But the more so, the more he can't wait to find the culprit who killed the second son. Therefore, he said with a cold face, the first thing is to help me find the person who harmed my second son. I am not very familiar with the situation in Orus Hill, so I have to rely on you for this matter. People pay more attention. If there is any news about this matter, please notify me in time. My Wu family will pay a lot of money. I personally promise that the reward will not be less than 100 million. 100 million, just to find a clue. It can be seen that the Wu family's handwriting is indeed very big. Lu Guang blurted out almost immediately, Mr. Regnar, please rest assured, the Lu family must go all out. The patriarch of the Zhao family and the Kevin family, unwilling to be left behind, expressed their opinions one after another. Solomon White, Qin Gang, and Mr. Orville still did not express their views. Regnar was a little frustrated, and asked, 3, don't you want to give Wu this little face? Qin Gang and Solomon White and Mr. Orville looked at each other and said, it's not that we don't give up to President Wu. Now that President Wu has spoken, we will do our best to help. It's just that the three of us have relatively solid personalities and don't like to talk about everything. The other people who knelt and licked Regnar's expressions were a bit unsightly, but they couldn't say anything. Regnar nodded lightly. He already knows the attitudes of these three people. It's okay to help, but it's impossible to be a dog. If it was Regnar's previous character, he would be mad at this time. But today's situation is special. He thinks business matters most, so he gave Qin Gang and the three of them coldly and then continued, this is the first thing, the second thing, and it has something to do with Warnya, the lady from Song family. Song family? Orville frowned and said, Mr. Regnar, Miss Song treats us very well. If you want to target Miss Song, I will never agree. Regnar said indifferently, I'm not asking you to deal with the Song family, but my son fell in love with Warnya and wanted to marry, but Warnya seems to not belong to him, so I want you to help me find the one Warnya likes. Man, find him, I will have a great reward. Solomon White and the others immediately looked at each other again. If you want to say that Warnya already has someone she likes, then there can be no one else besides Mr. Wade. However, it is naturally impossible for them to say Charlie's name. Lu Guang asked diligently, Mr. Regnar, do you want me to find this person and kill him? Regnar waved his hand and said, we don't need your help for anything else in this matter. You just need to find this person for me. My Wu family will decide how to deal with it. Everyone at the dinner table had their own thoughts. This time the Wu family's treat, the two things turned out to be to find someone, and both were rewarded. If you can find a clue, you can also receive a generous reward. Regnar said at this time, okay, there are so many things to ask everyone to help. Let's start eating now. I will offer you a drink first. Everyone picked up their wine glasses and had a drink with Regnar. At this time, Lu Guang pleased Regnar and said, Mr. Regnar, I don't know how the second young master is now. Hearing his question, Regnar frowned instinctively. Which pot are you really supposed to FC King open? However, since he wanted to collect a few dogs for his own use, of course he couldn't be too demanding on the dogs as soon as he came up, so he shook his head and said, nothing gets better, I have sent him back to Wu's house. Lu Guang hurriedly said, Mr. Orville, I know that a genius doctor came to Orus Hill recently. It is said that he is extremely skilled. He used to treat big figures in East Cliff and Zhanghai. Why don't you see him for the second young master? Oh. Regnar put down his chopsticks and hurriedly asked, who is the genius doctor you are talking about? What is the name? Lu Guang hurriedly replied, "It is the well-known genius Dr. Tianqi who is said to be much more skilled than the doctors in the National Medical Center." Regnar was surprised and said, "The genius Dr. Tianqi is in Orus Hill? How did I hear that he has been in Zhanghai? It is said that the Wu family is the first family in the south of the Yangtze River, but that does not include Zhanghai. Zhanghai is a municipality with the best economic development in the country. Like Eastcliff, there are many great people living there." It was said that Tianqi spent most of his time in Zhanghai, and occasionally went to Eastcliff to see the rich and powerful. Regnar naturally heard about it, but he did not expect that Tianqi would be in Orus Hill. After all, Orus Hill is only a second-tier city. Compared with Zhanghai, Eastcliff is far behind. Lu Guang laughed, and hurriedly said, "I don't know why. The genius Dr. Tianqi suddenly came to Orus Hill, and opened a clinic directly in Orus Hill. Now that place is hot. Many rich people are willing to spend millions in consultation fees." After speaking, Lu Guang said again, "I heard that a high-level paraplegia has been cured by God Dr. Tianqi some time ago, and the whole world is shocked." "Really?" Regnar was instantly ecstatic when he heard this. Never imagined that Orus Hill still has a genius doctor like Tianqi. If you find him to help, the second son's problem may be saved.